Okay. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are Old Glory.
The term Molly refers to the actual man who's dressed up as a lady. So that's where the Molly bit come from, and his role was to take the mickey out of the lady of the manor. And in our group and other groups, there's a man dressed, or one of the dancers I should say, dressed as the Lord. And he's to take the mickey out of the Lord of the manor. So you've got the Molly dancers come from the actual
cross-dressing.
Cross-dressing, that's the word we're looking for, yeah.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We are still Old Glory, Molly dancers, and the fabulous musicians. Let's have a round of applause, please, for the ladies of the band. It's a new lot. The ladies we had last year froze to death. It was -4. These are all new. We're going to do a dance now called Nelson's Revenge.
Every dance side has its own idea of how they want the side to look and behave, and Old Glory's is very particular. It puts us aside from other
One of the things
sides.
what really typifies what we're about, we were in Norwich at one stage, and over the top of I think it was a Methodist chapel, there was a thing that said strict and particular. That became our theme really, that we said we've got to be strict and particular. And the main angle we come from is we don't always get the dances right. The dances aren't that complicated. Traditionally, they wouldn't have been complicated. They'd have been dances done by people who only actually maybe practiced them once or twice a year. So the dance and what we do is not that complicated, but the theatre means everything. We always say, get the dances wrong, but the theatre has got to be done right. And we go down, and when we say strict and particular, we don't even wear wristwatches. We try and keep the detail to a very fine point.
Yeah, I do actually think we actually perform. We do a performance rather than just a dance. When we go out, everybody's involved. Even if you're not involved in the dance, if you're standing to the side, you have a role. Everybody in the side has a role that they have to perform.
Right, we're often asked why the black faces, and when we're dancing out, we consider it as nothing more than disguise. And if you take it back to the days when Molly dancing was first done in the 1930s, the farm labourers were actually laid off the land in the winter when the land froze over, and actually no money. So the dancing in the Molly dancing was done as a form of begging. But in them days, begging was frowned upon. Maybe it is now, but begging was frowned upon. So the black face was just done with a bit of cork, and that was just a means of disguise, so they couldn't be recognised by the Lord of the Manor or even the vicar. So that was a form of disguise. Another thing they used to do is turn the jackets inside out, so the tweed was on the inside, and they just get the sweetheart or the mum or the wife to put some ribbons on, and then they'd go out just with that gear on, with their black boots or brown boots, and dance literally for money, and the actual blackface was only a disguise, so they couldn't be recognised.
Yes. There's not actually very much written down about Molly dance and traditions. Whenever we find a piece of information, then we'll obviously put it into storage for future use if necessary. But it's actually very much a living tradition. You make your own, and hopefully someone at some stage will take our fix on Molly dance and take it further.
We're actually called ours the Waveney Valley tradition, so we're hoping in 20 years' time someone's got to look at one of our little booklets and say, oh, this Waveney Valley tradition, what was that? And in fact it's sort of prefabricated, you know, just prefabricated sort of on the spot really, isn't it?
Yeah.
It hasn't, we've actually made the tradition rather than copied someone else's tradition.